Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Bear's Workshop. Let me know how the audio is. If there's any problems, say something, please, because I can't hear myself. But we are pretty excited. We had a good flyover over the last couple of days. Sorry we missed Friday, but it was Good Friday, so we did not fly either Nikola or Lucid because of that. So let's see who we got here in the chat. Chappie Woody Morris, 13, awesome. And Scott says 13 is progress, but we need to see 2 per day to hit projections. I think as time goes on, they'll be able to get more and more out per day. It's just a matter of ramping up. But the fact that we see 13 out there today, we saw, was it 11 out on Wednesday? But that we didn't fly on Thursday, Friday. So we don't know if any of those were taken out and headed for a dealership or for a customer. So it's possible that we are seeing more than that. Don't want to say that we are or we're not, but because I just don't know. But the fact that we see 13 there, it's nice to see them lined up like that. Some of them are still being tested out. I assume it's just a quality check. Run the trucks through the test track and then go from there. So it's good to see them. Let's see. iMelt says, yeah, we don't know how many are in the factory. And that is true. There's probably more in the factory. So we'll have to wait and see. Octavio says, looks like they're really kicked off production and baby steps, but they're making progress, which is what we want to see. And that's exactly right. Either we want to see more trucks in the parking lot or we'd like to see them on the back of trailers getting shipped out. And remember, we're not going to see all the ones getting shipped out. And we really can't see any markings on these trucks that can tell us which one is which as far as like serial numbers or anything like that. So it's possible that we could see the same thing on Wednesday, but maybe 2 or 4 shipped out. We just wouldn't know. Let's see. Everyone says the sound is good. Scott says it's good. Hello, Bear and Andre the Giant. Yes, he is right there. That's Andre the Giant. When we bought him, he actually came with a rock also. If you saw the movie, you know what the reference says. And Reed says, thanks again for the great videos and chats. My pleasure. And we got a hi from someone who's Korean, but we kind of figured that just based upon your name. That is Korean. Yeah, and I says, hello, Korean. Hey, Bear, happy Easter from Germany. Well, happy Easter from Arizona. And Korean says, thank you every day. And we're just going to call you Korean because that's kind of what you're asking for. And Josh is here. Thank you for your good work, Bear. Yeah. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you saying so. Of course, now you're going to put me on edge because you're here. Josh always makes me nervous. So let's go ahead and start with the video straight off and see what we got for today's flyover. Because we do have some video of a Nikola Tre that we saw on Saturday. We were just happened to be in Scottsdale, and we saw a Tre driving north on the 202. And the location from the factory to where we saw this Tre is 70 miles. I thought it was actually closer, but then I mapped it out because I wanted to give you guys good information. And we're 70 miles from the factory, and we saw this Nikola Tre. So that should be coming up here in a second, but we got to run through the recap. And as you can see, it's quite the recap. Lots of progress. Looks like a real factory. Why do I make you nervous? Because, Josh, I'm going to say something wrong, and then you're going to correct me. So this is the Nikola Tre we saw on the 202 right around Thomas Road. If anyone wants to look it up, there's a sign that says Thomas Road, so we knew where we were. We were doing about 70. We slowed down a little bit to get this picture. So he was probably doing 65 or 70. We really didn't pace him. Not sure where he was going, but I'm assuming this was just for some testing. Ooh, I think we got some really good video on this. Riley was hanging out the window trying to make this guy nervous, but he's driving pretty straight regardless. So we saw the truck, we filmed the truck, and then I actually, when I was coming back from our destination, I saw another one, and that was headed northbound also, but it was probably 10, 20 miles away from that one. No way it was the same truck. Um, but on another note, that truck that we just saw leaving and then entering, that truck was leaving when we first got there, and it was coming back when we were done. So it was not part of our count. So we're going to see 12 Nikola Tres on the flyover, plus that one. So there was 13. And right now we're flying over the employee parking lot where they are currently putting up the beams going across for the covered parking, which is also going to have solar on it. You can see this truck right here. That has a name of a solar company on the side of it. I forget what it was off the top of my head, but I think we're going to zoom into it and we'll get that name for you. And we already have seen the solar panels all lined up in boxes over by the security station. Argyris says, Happy Easter from Greece. And Octavio says, was that a Nikola test truck, the one you guys saw? I can't say it was a test truck or just a production truck being tested. Couldn't say. JJ's here. Hit me with that copium. Yeah, we kind of need that with the stock price right now. But I think we're going to have a bounce back, but don't take my advice. BYO. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, BYO is a solar company out of, I think, North Scottsdale. And they will be the ones putting up the solar panels. So we should see that shortly. I'm sure those guys are already working there, working on the wiring and things that go in there. I'm not sure if they're putting panels down on the roof or if the panels are going to be the roof. We will find out shortly. It kind of it's hard to say. I haven't seen any panels going like laid out there unless they're in these boxes that we're looking at right here on the left hand side. I believe those are all the solar panels that are going to be put up there. Olivia, yes, they are for solar panels. And I'm assuming they are. It only makes sense. You've got all the solar panels stacked. The solar people are parked right underneath it. So I'm pretty sure it's solar. But you can see they have quite the large amount of panels sitting there. And no panels on the roof. Okay. Well, that means they're going on the... they got to be going on the covered parking. And here's a close-up of the security building and how it's coming along. It's looking kind of sharp there. Not sure what they're going to do as far as a finish on the walls themselves. But obviously that's going to come up soon because that's what they're getting to. I don't think that they're going to do stucco. They haven't done stucco on anything. So they're probably going to put more of that paneling that they've put around the rest of the site. But I could be wrong. They're sitting up faster than Lucid. Yeah, well, Lucid's got a lot more to do. It's not a race. So over here we've got our frame count, and we've got our 11 frames that have been sitting there that I declare look different. But I still think those frames are different than the frames that are currently coming in. Yeah, Josh wants to be faster than Lucid. Josh, if you want, you can introduce yourself, but I'm not doing that. So we have a total of 29 frames. That includes the 11 that are the different frames, and that leaves 18 frames that are sitting there waiting to go in. And I think our count last week might have been 29 also. I don't know off the top of my head. But we were around that. But we definitely are seeing frames go in and frames come out. Josh is, I'm not sure of his exact title these days because he said something about being an executive person now. But Josh works for Wallbridge, and he's out of Detroit and does a lot of the, he's basically in charge of the construction. Not of every part of it. There is another company in there. I believe they're doing the dyno building, but Josh is the guy who is in charge of everything else. I'm not seeing any lag on this side, so not sure what's going on. Are you guys seeing lag, or is it just I melt? Lucid at 2021 lowest ever. It might go to 17. Uh, I mean, I still like Lucid, but I still think they have the potential to go down, especially once their lack of deliveries uh, are announced for this past quarter. It's just one of those things where they're still promising 12,000 cars, and they're not quite uh, putting them out quick enough to get to that. But I'm sure they're going to ramp up also. Scott says no lag here, and so does Chappie Woody. No lag for him. I melt. Maybe you need to get on a different internet. Thanks, guys, for all the updates. So there was a stack of Nikolas. Let's go back to that real quick. So in the top left, we have their showpiece truck that they take around. So we know that one's always going to be around somewhere. And then we've got another 6 right here that are just sitting there. One of them's got a 13 on it, which means it might be one of the test ones. The other ones, there's no marking, so I can't say anything. That one right there looks like it just got a bath. And then we've got one on the right. And from our camera angle, it was hard to see what that was behind that tray. We thought it was something else, so we had zoomed in on it. Then we've got a truck right there that's being tested with the load. And these are all the cabs. You can see someone's working on one of the cabs right there. He just crawled in right there. Let's see, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That almost matches the 19 regular frames that we have. Interesting, because there's 19 of the 19 frames outside the southwest part of the facility, and there's 18 cabs. Olivia says it was laggy, but not anymore. And then here we have 2 more trays that are out doing some testing. One of them's got the trailer, just the regular trailer on it. It actually is that I think that might be the reefer trailer. Hard to see until we zoom in. I just forgot because so much activity. That is the reefer trailer. And I wonder how that runs. Does that run off the battery, or does it have its own generator that runs off of gas or diesel? I'm a little curious how that runs. So maybe one day I can ask somebody that question. But that's interesting thing to know, because if it's running off the batteries of the truck, would definitely be curious as far as what it loses as far as range. Let's see. Olivia. So by the way, Lucid has started to send out VINs for gray that they are using in European world, and there's high demand for GTP. Know someone who has reserved one in Canada. I bet there is. I think people wanted that Dream Edition and weren't able to order it, which I understand they wanted to make it limited, but probably would have just been good to put that out there for general production. There you can see the dyno building. I still got some roof work to do there. The venting is obviously not complete. Then there's the wash station right next to it. That we've got another concrete pad going down on the east side. Walls are still going up and getting taller, but it's got to get tall enough for a semi to get through there. I don't think it's not quite that tall. But yeah, that's going to be done soon. And Octavio says you can reserve Lucid News for Wednesday. Yeah, I guess we could. I don't like to turn people down as long as it's legitimate questions. But yeah, we could talk about that on Wednesday. Maybe we'll know some more information about those VIN numbers. Or those VINs. VIN numbers is redundant, since the N in VIN is number. Here we got the east side. This is where the next phase is going. You can see there's still some area to clear out. And yeah, I'm laughing at JJ. I don't want to hear about Lucid right now. But you can see our employee parking lot's looking pretty cool right now. with all that covered parking finally getting put in. I don't know what the holdup was. It could have been solar panels. It could have been the steel. Uh, could have just been that they were busy. And Reed says that the video is choppy now. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at it on my end and it does look choppy. Let me see if there's anything I can do. Let's pause this for a second and see if there's anything I can do. So, can't close that. I'm just closing out a couple additional things here. Check the internet. I'm just going to run a quick internet test here, guys, and see if I've got some issues. Because I want the best video for you guys. See what we got. Running at just under 100 megabits, which is pretty slow. Let's see what my upload speed is. Upload is doing better, doing about 35. So let's see if there's anything else I can do here. Okay, let's start running this again and see if this is it. Well, just gonna get some things closed out so that maybe we can improve this a little bit. All right, let's start this up again. Sorry about that, guys. Now we got some dogs barking in the background. That will slow things down too. Well, that's really choppy. Yeah, we're definitely having some issues here. How's the audio? Is the audio choppy also? Wondering if that's getting choppy, and if my audio's coming through, we'll be able to watch this. You'll be able to watch the video without this. Let's see. Yeah, it's still pretty choppy. I'm going to try one other thing. I don't know if I might lose the stream if I do that. I was going to switch my internet connection. CPU frame. Let's see. I'm just trying to get this a little bit better for you guys. So if you guys can just give me a moment, and I apologize for this, but we can't have this. This is not going to be enjoyable for anybody, especially the 62 people that are on. Let's see what is taking up our CPU. Streamlabs, of course. I'm going to shut down Chrome, but then I can't see how it's doing. I'm going to shut it down and reopen it. See if that gets any better. Start running it again right now, guys, so let me know. I'm going to reopen up Chrome. But when I open up the page, it's probably going to make it lag. Thank you, Reed. I appreciate that. Bourne says does not matter. The sound is good. Now, let's see here. We'll get the. I'll get this going again here. See, we were just flying around. We went over to the water campus, and now we're flying again back down south. You can see all the vehicles lined up. And I'm back on. And looks pretty choppy. All right, guys. We're going to try and make our way through this. Sorry for this. Not sure what the problem is right now. But probably before we live stream again tomorrow, we'll reset everything. And hopefully everything will be good. It looks like it's fixed now, says Janelle. Well, I'm looking at it on my screen. I'm not sure that it's fixed. Josh says, Bear, see you soon. You can relax now. Thank you, Josh. Thanks for all the hard work on Nikola that you've put in. We appreciate that. All these people do. All right, so here we are. We're completing our flyover. We can see the one truck with the that's loaded up, and the other one that just got washed. And you might be able to see it, but it's looking like it's real choppy. So I apologize to you guys. So if there's anything else you guys want to add, we're probably going to end up cutting this short because this is really bad. JJ asked me if I'm going to the expo in Long Beach. Unfortunately, I am not able to make it. I have a previous commitment that's putting me in another state on the East Coast that entire week when the expo is in Long Beach. So I am not able to make that. I'm just getting unlucky with when these expos are. Had it not been for that, I certainly would have. I would have been going, but I'm already tied up with something. And it's a trip that has been scheduled for a while, and there's a decent amount of money rolled up into that, and I can't cancel it. Deep says this is Elon's fault. I don't think it's Elon's fault. But you can blame whoever you want, whatever makes you feel good. So I will check the settings and I'll do everything else. Our next live stream is going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific with Brian. I will have this worked out. I'll do a couple of tests before I get on. Peter says Nikola quarter close on March 31st. Sales open on March 28th for the Cali rebate of 150,000. How many trucks do you think we sold in those 3 days? I'm not sure any of those sales were final in those 3 days, and I think that they only count, I think, once they're paid. So I don't think I don't expect to see anything from quarter one for the California rebate. I would be really surprised. They might say that we have projected or we have these sales coming up, but it would not count as income. And Deep says, oh, those so nice. The solar panels will be going up quickly. Angel's here. Hello, Bear. Are we rich yet? No, we're not. Speaking of whether or not we're rich, here's where the stock price ended up today. 783 is down 19 cents. Aftermarket, it's up 3 cents. So not a good day for Lucid, for Nikola. Tesla, I think, was up. $19. Neo was down. Lee was down. Xpeng was down. Rivian was down. Ford was up a couple pennies. QuantumScape was down. GGPI was down. Helion was down. Solo was down. So a lot of down. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be fully tested, fully vetted, and we'll be working better tomorrow than ever today. Than ever we were today. So apologize for the lag. Not sure where it's coming from, but we will get it taken care of by tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow for Fast Charging with B&B, Wednesday for the Lucid Flyover, and then we'll talk about Lucid. So everyone,